Ruach Shalom, everyone. It's Out the Box Kingdom Talk with me, Out the Box Kingdom. I hope you all are having a wonderful yum. I just wanted to come on here right quick because Yah is just amazing how he's consistently revealing things to us. I'm one of them type of people. I love to watch a lot of forensics and anything dealing with, psychology. And I just happened to be on YouTube yesterday and ended up saving this case. And I thought it was pertaining to one person, but it was pertaining to two brothers that were murdered. And long story short, you know how Satan can just get in somebody's heart and have them to do the most wicked thing, and they have no sympathy, and how they just are in denial that they didn't do anything wrong, even though the evidence is clearly there. And you just begin to ask these people, how can you live with yourself knowing that you did something so wicked and evil? But it just goes to show, it's in telling him where it says that the wicked stays up all night plotting evil against those that they oppress. It's like they can't sleep without doing evil against the lawful ones, those that are of Yah. So in this case, I thought, so in this particular case, the mother happened to, because the family was real close-knit, and because the mother did not hear the son, they didn't hear any response in the group chat from both of her sons. She went over there and she found her youngest boy on the couch, deceased. She didn't go in the back room, but in the back room, the other one was killed as well. The cops came over there, and unfortunately, they could tell that these boys, these two men were killed, or should I say unalived, while they slept. And I said, that's some wicked stuff. So automatically, you're going to assume it's got to be somebody close to them, because the mom had to use a spare key to get in. The whole house was locked up, garage door closed. So automatically it was somebody that had access to the house, right? Or was familiar with the house. And they said only the baby mama at that moment in time, they were saying her. So when the police went over there, the baby mother already had a lawyer. And sometimes when somebody's lawyer up, it's kind of like you're suspicious. But I get it now. She was just covering her grounds. But long story short, the person ended up not being the children's mother of the oldest boy, because whoever did what they did, they shot him multiple times. So it was something personal, right? A hatred. They wanted to make sure this person didn't even have a breath in their body, right? Well, come to find out, it was his childhood friend, someone that was welcoming their family home. When things went bad in his life, baby mama kicked him out and everything, they opened his house. He opened his house up to him for him to live there, but he wasn't trying to contribute anything, so I guess he got put out. But my thing is, you are so jealous of someone that instead of you working towards, and scripture tells us not to covet what someone has, you know what I'm saying? Because it does lead to jealousy and bitterness. That's been the story of my life majority of the time. Even in high school, I had female friends, but for some reason, I wouldn't do nothing to them. But all of a sudden, they had more than what I had, but yet they was jealous of me for no apparent reason. And I couldn't understand that. But, and so that's why I always had male friends compared to female friends, But my thing is, you let Satan come into your heart. And we know you just did the same thing with Yahusha. He sold him for 30 pieces of shekel. And unfortunately, he had to reap what he sowed down there in Sheol. Unfortunately, regardless of the evidence that the police had against this man, solid like camera, all these things, they know his whereabouts, the cell phone towers, all this stuff, even find the shell casings from the forensics in his car. When they asked him the question, he was like, I didn't do it. Like, he was so cold, calm, but cold. And I said, look at that spirit, that unclean ruach. Well, he got charged with 2 life sentences or whatever. But however, if he doesn't repent, just like when Cain killed Abel, the blood cries. Their blood is always crying against this man because he had children too, but yet he shot his friend. And now them 4 children don't have their daddy or their uncle. That woman lost 2 of her sons on the same day. So what I'm coming on here to say, because Satan doesn't do nothing new under the sun. Does that mean be paranoid? No, because there is a such thing as helpers. The obvious enemies are obvious. They're making themselves known. But what you have to be very cautious about and discern is those that you bring in your house to dine with you. Them are the ones that are watching you, and they can get Satan in their heart so quick. They'll do whatever it takes to try to destroy you or still kill or destroy because they just can't help themselves. It's not all the other nations. It's the ones, like I said, that looks just like you. They're going to speak the same verbiage. Some of them going to be wearing fringes and hair wraps and sitting right there eating bread with you. And while they're sitting up there eating bread with you, they sitting up there watching your house and trying to see what can they do to destroy you. If it's for some money, or they think it's going to benefit them, or they think going to remove their competition when you should never feel like you're in competition with anybody else. And so what I'm saying is, don't be too suspicious to the point you're paranoid. But when you find people gravitating towards you and they want to befriend you, Satan knows how to use what they call decoys or them counterfeits. Because they know you're not going to just receive anybody that is calling on JUSUS, but someone that's calling on the name of Yah and Yahusha. Them the ones you're going to have to really watch. And when I say watch, ask Yah to give you discernment about these people, because they're still wolves in sheep clothing. However, when Yah reveal it to them, you don't have to sit up there and tell them what they did. Just ask Yah to remove them from your life. Reveal to you, or just ask Yah to reveal the true intentions of that person's heart while they're reaching out to you. Not everybody has wicked intentions, but you want to keep yourself guarded at all times and not just have your guards down just because they may be wearing his name or anything like that. Because Lucifer high Satan is very cunning. Yah created him. He was the first messenger before Michael and the rest of them was created. So he's very arrogant and very prideful. And just like that man sat there, regardless of them asking questions, no matter how much they had incriminating evidence, he sat there and was like, I didn't do anything wrong. And unfortunately, those that doing wicked even right now, they don't think they're doing anything wrong. They think that they're justified what they do, but they're doing things without a cause. And it's notated. They're killing without a cause. Even Daoud telling him, y'all deal with them that do things without a cause. But they will reap what they saw, but it ain't for us to sit up there and see what the judgment of Yah gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Baruch them and keep it moving. Because you will recover. But in their case, if they don't repent, Yah has to have his way. But I thought I would share that case with you because it's so interesting. It's like Yah is reminding us, be careful who you allow to sit in the table with you and eat bread with you. because that may just be the one that Satan try to use to still kill and destroy in your life. So part 2 of what I was saying earlier about be careful who you allow to come sit with you and dine with you. It's nothing new under the sun. Satan does nothing new under the sun. And we see this all throughout scriptures of those of Yah being betrayed. And it's by the people you least expect. Like I said, if you are a dreamer or a visionary, like Yosef was a visionary and a dreamer. And every time he would share his dreams with his brothers who betrayed him, who put him down in the pit, who wanted to kill him, his brothers, because they had envy. They was envious because they felt like he was the favorite and they was rejected. But we know that the rejection that they was dealing with in their ruach came from the stem of their mother, because Leah was rejected by Jacob, so that got passed down to the children. However, Joseph and Benjamin felt love because guess what? Jacob loved Rachel. So things are passed down through the womb, and it began to reflect. This is why there's sibling rivalry. But let's go back a little bit further. Cain and Abel, once again, the first one. Actually, Satan became jealous when Yah created Adam, right? And he was commanded to bow, and he said, I'm made with fire and all this. I'm not bowing down to your creation. No. And because of his arrogance, that's why he got casted out. If you don't believe me, go read the Apocryphas, right? So jealousy and sibling rivalry has always been there. You know what I'm saying? It's the ones you would least expect, the ones that when you share a vision, you're hoping they be on one accord with you. And let's get real here, they're not. It's the ones that's the complete strangers that will come help you. However, you have some people, you help them and they will go on with their life like you never said anything prophesied in their life or anything. And look what happened with Joseph, even with that. When it came, well, let's just say the baker couldn't come back, but the cupbearer forgot all about him once he got in his position. It wasn't until there was a time of famine and there was a high demand and need, that's when he realized, oh, there was somebody up there in the prison that interpreted my dream. How did I forget about him? Because you was focusing on yourself and you got back in your position and forgot where your help came from. Anyway, so, like I said, Cain and Abel. Cain was trying to present something that was cursed. Yah had cursed the land when it came to Adam. So Cain called himself trying to, because Satan was all up in his heart, thought he could manipulate Yah to give him what he wanted. But yeah, he was trying to present to Yah something that was already cursed, which was the cursed fruits and stuff like that. However, Abel brought something which was the firstborn of the lamb. And so Yah received it. Cain could have got the same thing that Abel got, but no, he let jealousy and envy come in his heart. So he thought to get rid of his competition, the best thing was to do is to kill his brother by hitting him with the rock, or should I say murdering him. Okay. Then you had Jacob and Esau. We know that Esau sold his birthright for some lentils and then had a nerve to get upset, which Abba had already technically wanted Jacob to get the Barukas anyway. But Esau sold his birthright for what? A plate of lentils. Something materialistic that was temporarily, right? But then had a nerve to get upset because now the Barukas then went to Jacob. So now he has this jealousy and envy in his heart. He's like, well, in order for me to get that back, I must get rid of him. I have to kill him. Once again, somebody sitting at the table with you, right? Your own blood sometimes. And then you have Samson and Delilah, a woman, someone that he loved, or should I say lusted after. And instead of him discerning, he let his flesh get in the way, and she set him up. and gave him to his enemies. Cut all his strength off from him. That's why in Proverbs it tells men to be very careful of what woman you come in covenant with. You got some that will tear your house down, and you got the woman that build the Proverbs 31 build her man up. But for some reason, some of the sons of Yah and women love to get tied up with the men folks and women that's operating in a Delilah spirit or Jezebel, or should I say the characteristics. Right? And so there's nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to be careful of who you come in a covenant with, or who you just call a friend or a sister. Because in Sirach, it does say a person has to prove themselves trustworthy before you can call them a friend. And all of us is going through this whole process right now. Even with Yah, before Yah can trust you with showing you the mysteries of his word, you got to prove yourself trustworthy to be a friend. Are you here to stay, or are you just speaking with your lips, but your heart is far from me? Because he said, you dine with me, I'll dine with you. But it's all about your heart posture. A lot of people just want to get immersed in the name because they think once saved, always saved. But they have no intentions of changing their lifestyle. They're going to say they all for Yah, but then they still cursing. They still got perversion coming out of their mouth. They still got intentions of causing one of their brothers to stumble and fall by teaching error of doctrine for them to get personal gain, because they want all focus on them versus using this platform to bring all esteem to our Yahuah. Where correction is due, you give correction, but it has to be in a place of love. Not because you want to operate in a self-righteous ruach. Because Satan wants to be worshipped. And he knows how to do it. He knows the word. He try to provoke you. Yahusha, throw yourself off this cliff. You got messengers over you. That's in my own, my own summary. But y'all get what I'm saying. So it's okay to get excited when we see someone coming in the truth. But you still got to be careful with those that's still very new coming to the truth, because they still got some Christianity in them. Right? But however, you got to be careful too. You just got to test the ruach at all times and know people by their fruit. You'll be able to recognize when Yah is speaking through an individual, when that person is not coming there with ill intentions. And even if they sin against you, don't curse them, because they're going to get their own personal conviction by Yah if he hasn't done it by the time they leave your presence. Unfortunately, Yudas had received the money, and the Pharisee says, that's blood money. We can't touch that, which they had him to do their dirty work for them. But it didn't tell them his real intentions until after the fact, until they got what they wanted. And even then, they still won't satisfy it. Because when he raised from the dead, we must tell them that they hid him and never satisfied. Those of the evil one are never satisfied. They cannot rest. And even when they kill somebody, they still not satisfied. So just be careful. Because like I said, nothing new is done under the sun. We see all throughout scriptures, Saul even tried to kill Daud. And Daud didn't do nothing. It was just he got jealous because he slew 10,000 and he only slew 1,000. That's how people can get jealous of you. So on that note, y'all, just like I said, nothing new is done under the sun when it comes to who Satan will try to use to get you to stumble and fall or to disappoint you or something. But cheer up, because Abba sees everything, and just know that he does have people appointed to your life to help you. But other than that, don't be so open to receive someone just because they're wearing the name or they're saying the name of Abba Yahuah and Yahusha. Discern them by their fruit, okay? And it will save you a lot of heartache, all right? Because we're coming in some trying times, and Satan knows how to use people, especially if you're desperate or you're craving for a community and you end up getting involved with the wrong people. So on that note, so part 3 on be careful who you let dine with you. How I'm going to wrap this message up is the best wisdom or advice I can give today. Allow Yah to pick and choose the people that he has for you. That's including who your spouse is supposed to be. Don't go out here volunteering yourself or going out here looking for it. Because once again, Satan knows how to give you a counterfeit. Right? Prime example, when a lot of us was out there in the world, we went on the outside exterior, what they had, their status and all that. But inside, they was dark, they were ugly, they were selfish, they was very self-seeking focused, and they wanted to drain you dry. But when you learn to allow Yah to order your steps, you have peace, right? And so let Yah pick your spouse. Let Yah pick your family for you. And when I mean family, don't just assume, once again, because they're wearing his name, they're saying his name, that they all for him, along with their appearance and their verbiage, because that don't mean nothing. If they're not filled with his ruach, if they're not showing any fruits of him, no characteristics of him, you're wasting your time. So instead of being in a place of assumption, right? Listen with your spiritual ears. But if Yah says connect with that person, then you connect with that person. It's either they're going to be in your life for a season or they're going to be in your life for a lifetime. Don't have such a tight grip on people, because like I said, some people are there in your life for a season or a lesson to be learned from that person. Some people is not even supposed to be for a friendship. They're there to mentor you, to help season you even more, to put more salt into your pot so you can be more salt, have more seasoning, right? Yah send those destiny helpers, right? But be appreciative on everything that you learn from that person, whether they're there to be just a mentor, they're there to just be a temporary friend, or they're there for the lifetime, right? But once again, let Yah pick them for you, because he does warn us, those that are hasty to want. But however, when you become hasty, you make unwise decisions. You'll just accept anything. You'll compromise. But then when you in that place of compromising, this is where disappointment and despair and other things come in. And that's what Satan wants. You know what I'm saying? So, because Satan knows a lot of us desire, a lot of us been in a place of isolation, or should I say solitude with Yah. We've been plowing to him, Yah, I want community. But see, Yah can't just have you just in any community. These people have gone through the refining. They've gone through the fire. They're not about, let me tell you, no error doctrine. They're not going to be sitting up here telling you to read the Quran or the Book of Mormon and telling you that that's part of the lost books, because it's not. They're not going to tell you to read the Tammuz, or, the things like that dealing with Judaism, saying we need to read this. No, they're going to be about the word and nothing but the word. They may tell you to read the apocryphas, but they're going to say which apocryphas. They're not going to be there to dig a pit for you and watch you to fall in it. No, they're going to see that clip at the end and make sure you don't fall. Those are friends of Yah. Those are the people he sent to you. So you just got to be patient, though, right? Because as he's calling and choosing you, he can't just have you surrounded by people that just answer the call, but they got no intentions of doing what he's called them to do. They're eventually going to fall off. You know what I'm saying? You got to have strong-minded people that when you're weak, they are strong for you. Just like with Aaron and her when it came to Musha and keeping his arm lifted up. You may be that person right now that's uplifting other people's arms up and keeping their arms up, but you need that too. But don't go out looking for it, because you're going to get counterfeits. Okay? However, another thing, remember, Yah gives you what you need versus what you want. You could be one of those people, you're a sister in Yah, and you say, well, Yah, I want other sisters in Yah. And you may not get that. He may send you brothers instead. You never know. Or it could be vice versa. Right? Because it's about like-mindedness versus you feeling like you have to water yourself down. Because once again, like I was saying in the other one, there are a lot more people that's operating in jealousy and envy and covetousness. They want what you want, but they're not willing to do the work. They don't know what process you've gone through to get what you have, but then they want to do whatever it takes to destroy your household. And you can't afford that this season. So be patient and wait on Yah to send you your tribe, your family. Be patient with yourself. Be patient when it comes to your spouse. You know what I'm saying? Because Abba is ordering the steps of everyone. You know what I'm saying? Even the wicked people, he's in control over that. So, and he knows what you've gone through. The constant betrayals, the disappointments, the rejection. He has all this stuff notated. So if you are coming in that season where Yah wants you to experience joy, you think he's going to have people around you that's going to constantly come around and suck you dry like leeches and then sit up there and tell you they hope you fail? Does that make sense to you? Or those that are just playing the part, looking the part, but they still have the worldly mindset, or they still got a Christian mindset? No, he's not going to do that. These are going to be very unique friends. And be okay if it's just 10, if it's 12, if it's even 5. Because 2 is better than 1. 3 is even better because it's a stronger cord. That's even in scripture. You don't need a whole group of people. Even though they say it takes a village to raise a child, which is some truth there. But I'd rather know that I can count my reliable friends than having a whole group of people and you sit up there have to look behind your back because you don't know that maybe 50% out of maybe 2 or 3 people out of that group, majority of the 50% is actually people that hate you or see what they can get out of you. I mean, simple as that. Simplicity is better. The ones that's going to show up for you, the friends that's going to show up for you just like you show up for them. It's an iron sharpens iron. And even if y'all don't talk for a couple days, it's like y'all hadn't talked, maybe hadn't talked in years. But y'all, it's like y'all make up time. And all y'all do is talk about Yah and the wonderful things. But on that note too, something I'm learning in this walk, not everybody's cheering for you. Not everybody want to hear your testimony. Because testimony is supposed to encourage people to have belief like you are. But sometimes you can share your wonderful testimonies that those that want to be destiny killers or dream killers, they can't stand your testimonies. Here we go again, like what Yosef went through with his brothers. But however, keep sharing your testimonies. Because even though they may not appreciate it, there's somebody that needs to hear your testimony that's going to give them hope. Because they're like, if Yah has done that for you, he can do that for me. And like I said, they're willing to put their hands to the plow and labor and see the fruits of their labor versus sitting back being lazy and supposed to think that Yah is a sugar daddy of the sky. There's a difference. But just be careful who you share your testimonies with. You know what I'm saying? You'll know. Okay? So on that note, y'all be baruched as always. I wasn't planning on coming on here, but I thought I would share that story earlier because it really grieved me how that young man was supposed to be a childhood friend and sat up there and killed both his friends for jealousy. But with jealousy, there's anger. That's just how Satan rolled. That's them seeds, them bad seeds. But on that note, stay prayed up, y'all. Stay plowed up, Stay close to the garment of Yah. Ask Yah to continuously keep your heart pure and see things in his perspective.